साथियों, पिछले 25 वर्ष के मेरे संगठनात्मक सफर से यह उम्मीद की जाती है कि मैंने हिंदी में भाषण करना चाहिए, परंतु मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि न न न न कि मैं हिंदी थोड़ा थोड़ा समझता हूँ, हिंदी पढ़ता हूँ, हिंदी लिखता हूँ, लेकिन सुगमता से हिंदी बोल नहीं सकता। इसलिए कृपा करके आप मुझे इंग्लिश में भाषण पढ़ने के अनुमति दे। So, Honorable Chief Guest, MN Professor Sona Jaria Minj, Vice Chancellor, SKM University Dumka, Jharkhand State, who pleased to inaugurate this National Convention of BAMSF, MN EZ Kobragade Saab, a senior IAS officer and an eminent Phule Ambedkarist, MN BD Borkar Saab, the chairman DK Kappade Memorial Trust, our age-old full-time Pracharak, MN SF Gangavane Saab, members of all Central Executive Committee of the BAMSF organization and its offshoot wings, state presidents, state executive committee members and its offshoot wings, dignitaries, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, and above all, the full-timers of our organization, the full-timers of our organization, I extend my heartily welcome to all of you to this 37th National Convention of our organization, BAMSF organization. It is really a great pleasure and honor to our community that a personality like MN Professor Sona Jharia Minj and of course our eminent Phule Ambedkarist Kobragade Saab has agreed to inaugurate today's National Convention. Actually, our National Vice President MN Kalim Ansari Saab had already introduced our chief guest and our special guest, but still I want to express a few words about our chief guest MN Minj and Kobragade Saab. So, MN Minj has worked for the rights of underprivileged group of Mulnivasi students before she sworn in as Vice Chancellor. She was also the President of JNU's Teachers Association. This shows our chief guest has a deep concern and great awareness about the necessities and requirements of our movement. So, at this juncture, I request her to join with the persons who are running the movement on the footsteps of Rashtrapita Jyotiba Phule and Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Because BAMSF is such an organization which is running its activities since 42 years by propagating the ideologies of our forefathers to the nook and corner of the country. If the organization is guided with intellectual inputs to counter the age-old enemy of the community, then the organization definitely turns to its logical end towards its objective. Hence, the services of intellectual core of the society like Sona Jhariamin and like our special guest Kobra Gadesab are very essentially required to boost up the activities of the Phule Ambedkarite movement. So I request Honorable Ma'am and Honorable Kobra Gadesab to think over on these lines and mobilize. So far, we have conducted 36 national conventions. Out of these, 8 national conventions are we conducted in this historical place, Nagpur. Let me share the details of the 8 national conventions in this historical place and of course the central part of India. The BAMSF first national convention was conducted during 1979 between 2nd and 4th of the December. Of course, the birth of the BAMSF organization took place at Boat Club India during the December 6th and 8th of 1978. Then after 10 years space, again the 11th National Convention was conducted in this place from December 25th to 28th of 1994. And after 14 years, the Silver Jubilee Convention, that is 25th National Convention, was conducted here at Nagpur again. There are another 5 national conventions which were held during 2008, 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017, and last year 2019 also we are conducted in Nagpur itself. So this year we are now conducting here again our 37th National Convention due to heavy pandemic corona conditions throughout India. Including this 37th National Convention, this is the 9th time we are again conducting in this Nagpur, particularly in our Rashtrapita Jyotiba Phule Institute for Social Revolution. So, after 42 years of our social movement throughout India, now we are seeing very drastic changes in the society, but at the same time, we should admit that the Brahmanical forces had also acted with the same vigor to counter the activities of the Phule Ambedkarite movement. It is a very common phenomena to our activists that everyone is asking us, what is the output of your organization after the long period of 42 years of work in the society? This is commonly asking question, commonly encountering by our own cadre in the field. So for those people who are asking such type of questions, my answer to that one is the success and the output of any organization can be seen or can be measured from its declared objective of that particular organization. As far as our BAMSF organization is concerned, you are all well aware that our objective is social change. This objective is not set by BAMSF organization. The objective of the social change was declared by our forefathers during 1848 by Rashtrapita Jyotiba Phule and during 1916 by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. So social change is such an objective set by our forefathers, and after 1956, the task is taken after the birth of the BAMSF organization only. During 1956 to 1978, that is 23 years of span of the time, nobody had dare enough to take up that task as their objective. This social change is their objective. That is the greatness of this objective. So, after 23 years of its time, BAMSF only took up this task and working since last 42 years, and it is to take more such years until it takes its logical end. Suppose if we estimate the time period to accomplish our objective, it certainly depends upon the availabilities of all the resources we have. In addition to these resources, that is human and financial resources, we have to develop the intellectual resources to counter the Brahmanical evil forces who are continuously trying to oppose the activities of the Phule Ambedkarite movement. Considering all these factors into accountability, then only we can assess the time period to achieve our objective, which is set by our forefathers. Not only outsiders of the organization, even in the inner circle of our organization, are doubting about the fulfillment of our declared objective. It is quite astonishing to me also about these doubting personalities. To overcome or to clear these doubts, not only in the minds of our own people in particular, but also the outsiders of the organization, we have to strengthen the human resources and also, of course, financial resources. You may think that this is an age-old theory, but at the same time, you are also known for running a movement. Both these resources are very essential and compulsory. Running the movement means not in the present situation. It shall be continued until it reaches its logical end. For that purpose, we have to hand over this movement to our future generations. Running a movement means we have to counter the strategies of our age-old enemy at every time. For that purpose, we will have to develop and strengthen the research and development wing, which is already existence in our organization. Similarly, running the movement means we have to create and develop the human resources. For that purpose, a training institute is required, which is already exists in the same premises which we are now standing, you are sitting, that should be developed with giving an utmost importance to it. So, dear friends, for this, we have to chalk out our perspective program. Mind you, I am repeating you the perspective program that shall be followed by the persons who are leading the activities at that particular time at any cost. Why I am saying this point very particularly is, whenever the persons who have the opportunity to lead the organization, they may simply skip to the priorities required at that time. There is no wrong in it. But the point is, whatever the programs designed and whatever the methodologies are planned to implement the generating the resources are held up due to the giving priority to the some issues at that particular time. Definitely, we should take up those issues as an ancillary part of the movement. But we should not leave the perspective program that is generating human and financial resources. This is an appropriate time to quote some of the plans and methodologies which were designed by our previous national presidents, and due to some or other reasons, those plans and methodologies are not implemented or not even pursued after their tenure. I think this is the main obstacle in institutionalizing the organization. In an organizational perspective, we have to overcome these type of obstacles. For example, in the year 1989, that is the 6th National Convention of the BAMSOF, the then National President M.N. Tejendra Singh Jalli planned to cover 15 states and 100 districts in the country. Similarly, he planned in the consequent year, that is 1990, for 20 states and total 180 districts of the entire country. But after 30 years of completion of the planning by the then National President M.N. Tejendra Singh Jalli, what is the present scenario of the organization pertaining to the geographical network? We are well known that even today, that is in 2020, we have not covered those 20 states and those 200 districts. Still, this is due to non-concentration of our own perspective program designed by the then CEC at that time. Similarly, let me give you another example. During the 12th National Convention, which was held at Jalandhar, that is during